11 years ago, I was 4 years old. At age 4, I gained the interest of construction. And in this documentary, I'm going to show you what I've built in the past 11 years, why construction is so important to me, and why it's important to everybody else around me. Let's get started. In the summer of 2018, I started to build my first treehouse. It wasn't anything to be proud of at the time, but now it is. This is what it used to look like. And this is what it looks like now. Much. As you can see, there's a drastic difference. But the only reason it looks the way it looks is because I called my great, well, not literally my great, but my awesome grandpa. And I brought him into the picture and I asked him for some help. And I said, hey, would you help me with this? Would you just help me with the foundation? I just want it to be a solid foundation. He said, sure, I'll come help you with the foundation. Well, then that advanced to getting the floor put on. Then that advanced to getting walls up. Then that advanced to putting the roof beams or rafters up. And then that advanced to putting a roof on. And then that advanced to putting a door on. I did the door myself. I'm not taking any extra credit because, I mean, Grandpa has helped a lot. But now I'm going to show you some key features about what I like about the treehouse. So that's the treehouse I built. We're going to go take a look at it and give you a little tour. So once you get down here, a little welcome sign. And there's lights on, solar lights on all the posts. And you gotta unclip and bring it over here. And then you come to the lock and unlock it. Okay, and once you've unlocked it, this comes out, put the lock back, and you push the door in. It's a very nice door that I built. I cut that down to size. It was an actual pocket door or something like that. Then you come in here, and there's actually a lot of natural light. And you shut the door. And if you want to spend the night in here, you can lock that up. And you're safe. So I've got tin roofing on it, and clear plastic roofing for natural light. It's also got power coming down to it. I don't have it hooked up currently, I don't think. Either that or it's off. Let's see. Yes, it is on, but it is not hooked up. That's just some spare parts. I probably need to clean it up in here a little bit. But yeah, that's the treehouse. Hope you liked it. One more thing I like to point out is it's got this on here. My grandpa made that. That's the years that we've been working on it. And you'll notice there's stairs here, but nothing at the bottom of them. So if you go down here to the bottom, you'll see it's pretty high off the ground. And so what it's gonna do, we're gonna start next spring. It's gonna go out to those trees and then back to that one, and then it's gonna come back all the way over here. This will be like a platform. I'm thinking maybe take a zip line down there, or maybe down there. There's a creek down there, and I'll show you in just a second how I plan on getting to there and adding to this construction project. But first, I think we should close the gate up. You just take this. Now the gate's all closed up. And I'd also like to thank you for visiting. Whoa, whoa. Hang on, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. I did mention that there was a creek over the hill at my house. And I did mention that I had a method to my madness of how I was going to plan on getting down there. That's what I'd like to talk about next. So what I'd like to talk about next is in the spring of 2020, this year, I started digging a trail that used to be in the side of this hill till about, I want to say 20 years ago. Some construction company came in and they had to replace our leach field. Well, the only place they could put all the dirt they used to cover the leach field, they had to plow it over the hill there. So that instantly just covered up the trail. It used to be good enough for a four-wheeler. I don't know exactly what it looked like back then. I wasn't alive back then. I mean, 20 years ago, I'm almost 15. And so the spring of 2020, I started digging a new trail, or digging up the old trail and putting it back in, and it goes to the bottom of the hill. But then once you get to the bottom of the hill, in order to get to the creek, you have to walk through devil's clubs and thorn bushes and things like that, and those hurt, and they can cause infections and all this other stuff. But my main point is, there's no way to safely get to the creek. So, in this next little clip, I'd like to show you my plan for that. Now, one more thing that I'd like to point out is, this is going towards my construction too, but I'm putting in a little creek to the trail, or trail to the creek here. Oh, let me get down here. It's supposed to go all the way down through here. And you can kind of see I hand dug this out this spring, and oh my gosh, look how open it is. It doesn't typically get this open, and it's raining, so it's quite slick. If I can get down here. So this is gonna be a little walking trail. I've got this down here just to mash down these weeds. And then you continue to come down here. It actually used to be an old four-wheeler trail, but we had to replace our leach field about 20 years back. I'm 15, so I wouldn't know if I hadn't heard the story. And so it just comes, so they had to plow all this material over top of the trail. So what's going to happen now is there's going to be pallets going from about where I'm standing to a creek that's about just where the green part of that lawn ends. It's right about at my fingertip. So anybody that gauges distance by yards, it's about 30 to 50 yards out there. And we're gonna go to Home Depot and get pallets and just line this all the way to the creek, and it's gonna make like a little boardwalk. Oh, and I figured while I was down here, I'd show you that up there, my friends, is the back of the treehouse. So, kind of cool, I think. I'm gonna show you one more thing. It's actually kind of cool, and it's beneficial to me and many others, of course. So that's the trail I want to finish. But the next thing I'd like to talk about is the bridge I built that goes over our neighborhood creek, or Crocker Creek. So the story behind it is I went down to the creek. There's a little trail that goes through the woods to, I think it's called Tipton Park. And so what the story behind it is, so I went down there and there's this rotten looking, broken up bridge. And so I brought the two main beams back, and what I did is I decked the beams, and so I decked the beams, and then I put ABS pipe, like 4-inch sewer pipe underneath, and what that does is it allows a space for the water to flow underneath the beams, and so the beams don't get wet. So here's the famed bridge and why it's beneficial to me and others around me. So right now we're on our way to the bridge that I built, and I'll show it to you when I get there. So we're about to the bridge now. Let me just let me pull down here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we are. I'm pulling up to the creek now, and I know it's just killing you to wait and see. Right now, you're probably wondering, how is he over the creek? Over the creek? Well, I'm gonna tell you, I am on the bridge. And the bridge is that right there. I know it's I know it looks like a pretty short bridge, but it's about 9'3". Possibly more, possibly less. It's got 2x4 planks on top. They're all weather wood. Underneath, it's got 4x6 supporting beams. And underneath that, it has 4-inch like sewer pipe. Most of you will be familiar with PVC pipe, but it's actually like AFS or something like that, I think. I'll put it up on the screen, whatever the correct name is for it, if that's not it. But the one thing I didn't keep in mind, flexible right there. It does, as you can see right here, gets pretty plugged up with, well, apparently branches. So that's gonna go over there. But it also gets plugged up with leaves. So I need to move those. But yeah, so yeah, that's the bridge and all of my construction projects. Hope you enjoyed. Might be more. So that was the bridge. I hope you enjoyed it. But there's something else I'd like to talk about. It's actually, wait, no, I don't want to talk about anything else quite yet. I want to talk about what sentimental value that bridge has. So about, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I tried to fix it up once, and either someone came in or destroyed it, or it just didn't last. But this time I fixed it up right. And so what am I trying to think of? Oh, so the reason it's like it has value to me is because I've tried to fix it once already, and whether or not it worked, I still put my time and my effort into it. And another reason that it's special to me is because I got all kinds of comments and kudos on like social media. So like there's been a Facebook post that one of our neighbors put on there and thanked me for it. So I'll put it up on the screen right now if it's not already. So yeah, I just was trying to help out the community and make it a better environment, a more enjoyable environment for everybody in the neighborhood. And so another project that I've been working on is I've been refurbishing an old 12-foot aluminum boat, and I've been refurbishing it and adding some things to it, like a navigation lights, anchor pulleys, all new lumber and seats, and what else? Oh, I also patched a couple leaks, and I put a bilge pump and battery in it for my electric trolling motor that will also go on it. And I've also been working on looking for some oars and oar locks to put on it, so that if the motor quits working, I can row back. And I'd like to show you that right now. I've also done some kind of odd jobs. I put a little heating vent on a greenhouse so that when it's summertime you can open it up and let colder air in. And then when it's winter you can close it up so snow and little birds and squirrels and stuff don't go in there. So I'd like to show you that right now too. Just installed these hinges on the greenhouse so that now we have a little vent here. This opens up and it lets the hot air out and lets the colder air in. There's also a little, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little latch back there. Keeps it closed. So yeah. In addition to that, I've also fixed like a guide-on post for a boat trailer because it cracked somehow, probably from running into it, because we were in the river, and we probably the river probably pushed us into it and cracked it a little bit. So I'd also like to show you that right now. That's the post I put on, because the other one cracked. It looked a lot like that one. See how that one's kind of at more of an L versus kind of a curve, that one. So replace that too. So now it's a lot more secure. I think that'll wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the first ever LEGO Vlogger documentary. It's all about construction and how it affects everybody around you and me. So please consider subscribing and smashing the heck out of that like button. And I think now I'm gonna go start building some more stuff. So see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.